Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Let me make sure that, oh, my scarf is all weird. Hold on, let me make sure that everything is up and running as it should be. Just give me 1 second. How's everybody doing this morning? Does everybody have their coffee? Because this is Coffee Talk. I have always wanted to do a coffee talk show. Does anybody watch Wendy Williams? Or did anybody ever watch, like, going way back, old school, watch Joan Rivers back in the day? I used to watch her. Okay, just working on some technical stuff, so give me just a sec. Okay, so I'm being told that no one can see me. Just a moment. I don't know where it went. Where's the Google Hangout? Oh, here it is. Okay. Just a moment. Let me check in with Lotta really quick. And I'm trying to get into the chat too, so I can chat with you guys. Oh, okay. She says it's working. Awesome. All right. So good morning, everybody. This is Astrology Coffee Talk / Weekend Report. So I'm just going to let you guys know it's not going to be like too long of a show, because I'm just going to go over what the astrology is of the weekend, of this weekend. So if you guys are planning on doing anything, planning on going out, hanging out, anything like that, what's the energy going to be like? What's the flavor of the that's going to be in the air during that time? And also going to talk a little bit of celebrity stuff, because I really love taking a look at what's going on, like as far as like the celebrity headlines, if I come across them. Honestly, I'm not one of those people that go searching for gossip. But if I come across some celebrity headlines via Facebook or YouTube or something, some of them catch my attention. And then, of course, as an astrologer, I'm like, ooh, oh, sorry, I need some coffee. I'm like, ooh, what transits are they going through to cause like this, this craziness to happen right now? If it's something crazy, or even if it's something good. Hold on, I'm going to tell Lotta to send me a link to the chat so I can see, so I can chat with you guys. Okay, actually, I know how to do this. Technology is great. Okay. All right. So anyhow, let's start out with the moon. Well, actually, let's start out with the sun. We all know that the sun is in Pisces right now, but we are coming up off of a Pisces eclipse, a heavy Pisces eclipse. And so that eclipse included the sun and the moon being in conjunction with Neptune. And Neptune rules a few different things. I mean, I read somewhere, I don't really watch like a lot of the award shows in full anymore. I don't really have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that, right? Yeah, I don't really watch a lot of the award shows, but I'll catch some clips here and there. But somebody had mentioned, another astrologer mentioned before, how a lot of the award shows happen during Pisces season. And That makes a lot of sense because Neptune and Pisces, they rule illusion, right? They rule illusion, they rule like movies and photography and like makeup, especially like studio makeup, makeup that's used for filming and stuff like that. And I mean, what do movies consist of? All of those things. So yeah, a lot of award shows happen during this time of year. I guess the Oscars happened, the Grammys did, and I'll get into the Grammys when we talk about celebs because I'm mainly only going to talk about one of them, the only one whose performance I saw and that I cared about. Woo! So anyhow, yeah, so the sun is coming off of its conjunction with Neptune. So that means that the sun in Pisces is still beaming down a little bit of Neptune's like mystical, magical energy all over us, making us intrigued by art and music and dance and stuff like that a little more, and beauty and fantasy. And it's garbage day here. Don't mind if you guys hear the freaking garbage truck like right outside my window. Sorry about that. But anyway, so that's, you know, why we've had these award shows go on right now. And, you know, so there's still a little bit of that energy lingering as well. So today, and of course the sun will be in Pisces all weekend. It's going to be there until like the 20th of March. So the moon is in Taurus right now and will be through tomorrow evening, which is Saturday. So moon in Taurus is a really good time to dig into some really good food, man. Some like really rich food that's just like, you know, because Taurus energy, everything is an experience to Taurus energy. That includes eating. So like food is like not just like I am nourishing my body right now. It's like, oh, what does this smell like? What is it? What's the texture of it? Is it rich and flavorful? So really good time this weekend to go out to like a really good restaurant with that rich, flavorful food with the moon in Taurus. It's also a time, Taurus energy on a negative side is known for being lazy. I mean, hey, Taurus stellium here. I can attest to that. So maybe like chilling out really comfy this weekend instead of being like, woo, like wild, or at least tonight, which is Friday. Chilling, watching TV, watching some good shows, watching like Netflix, or watching some replays of some awesome YouTube videos or horoscope videos. Yeah, I think I need some coffee. Just give me a second. Yeah. So chilling with some good food. You may feel like indulging in like ice cream or some like sweets and stuff like that. Oh yeah, making brisket this weekend. Ooh, Beverly, can I come through to your house? I love brisket, especially if you put it on like a really nice, soft, warm bread with some coleslaw. Oh my gosh, that stuff is so good. I'm trying to get to the chat on my computer, but it's on my phone, so whatever. I'll get through it. So I can actually respond back to you guys. Okay, so yes. The moon is going to be in Taurus. The moon is actually void of course in a couple, like 5 minutes, it's going to go void of course. What does that mean? It means pretty much in nerdy technical astrology terms, it means that the moon is not making any aspects to any other planets. It's just floating there alone. And so it's said that when the moon is void of course, it's not the best time to start something brand new. Speaking of that, also what happens today is Venus retrograde. And I couldn't probably, like, I would probably make money off of the times, how many times I've said Venus retrograde, like, in the last week. Oh my gosh, I'm always talking about Venus retrograde, right? I just did a video on it the other day, a live video if you guys tuned in. And yeah, but it starts today, guys. It starts today. So void of course moon up until tomorrow morning. And which is like 10:28. No, hold on. Tomorrow morning, oh, like early in the morning, okay? Like Eastern time is like 5 a.m. tomorrow, Saturday, Eastern US time. And then, yeah, so then we have the Venus retrograde. So not the best time to jump in and start something new or try something brand new, or like, yeah, like Venus rules Taurus and the moon is in Taurus. So if you're thinking about doing any like Venus ruled stuff brand new, like we already discussed in my last video, trying a new hair color, a new haircut, a new product that you use for vanity, for beauty, or like a surgery that has to do with beauty or vanity, today is really not the day. Venus retrograde tomorrow. Oh, you know what, Nicole? You know what? You're right. My bad. Thank you, Nicole, for correcting me on that. You see, I think I need a little more coffee because I am not the best morning person. Yes, Venus retrograde starts tomorrow, guys. Sorry about that. We'll get through this. I'll get the hang of this morning stuff, okay? All right. Venus retro starts tomorrow, okay? Mars and Uranus are still together. It's like Mars is moving away from Uranus, but they're still like buzzing back and forth their energy together. And since Mars is your action and your drive, how you're physically moving about, yeah, I've still been hearing about some, people taking some crazy actions, some daring actions, and yeah, some, be careful driving too. And people have been like, I've been reading, especially in like my Facebook feed, a lot of people feeling so agitated because, Mars can be angry. It's in Aries, which can easily anger, because it's very aggressive energy. And then Uranus is like static electricity buzzing. So you pair those things together and it's like, like all this nervy energy. And I've been reading on, social media, people saying, oh, I haven't been able to rest. Like people have been kind of restless. And then we've still got Mercury. It's moving up to a conjunction with Neptune. And the sun is still conjunct Neptune. So we've got this like sleepy kind of lazy energy that's like foggy and doesn't really know where it's going. The direction is kind of lost, paired with like nervy Uranus and Mars energy. So just be careful not to burn yourselves out, guys, with whatever it is that you're going to be participating in. Let's see. I'm just glancing at the chat. Fire with periodic shocks. Oh yeah, that's what Mars and Uranus is kind of like. I've been thinking about my ex, Caroline. Thinking about your ex. Of course, you know what I find is Venus. A lot of the times when we give the dates for the retrogrades, say Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, I mean, we can give the dates, but we're measuring energy here and we're measuring the movement of planets, which are way far away. So, it tends to be really, really accurate when we give the specific dates, but energy is very hard to contain. So I've already been seeing some Venus retrograde effects, and I've been reading some comments like from you guys in the chat, from people on social media, of exes already starting to come back, or people running into their exes and stuff, even though the the official date for Venus retrograde is tomorrow, which is Saturday, the 4th. So speaking of that, Venus will go retrograde officially tomorrow. I apologize for my error earlier. And what all that means is, yeah, when it comes to love and stuff, you guys may be hit up by your exes over the weekend and continuing through the month of April. This continues for about a month. So, and then the moon's going to shift into Gemini on Saturday. Gemini moon is, Gemini moon, it could be very flirty, very chatty. It can talk to strangers very easily. It can have conversations with people. And it's like detached, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to really know that person personally for you to enjoy a conversation with them. It's just hot air, words flying, and your mind is like on 500 million other things at the same time. So you may not even really be catching, it may not be like the best conversation. But hey, the Gemini moon energy is really good for going out and just being social and flirty like a social butterfly, because Venus is retrograde. You don't want to attach yourself to somebody new right now, right? So if you're single and you're dating, this weekend is a good time just to be a social butterfly, just to flirt, just to like enjoy getting attention, because Mars and Venus and Aries is still like really hot, passionate energy. It's impulsive. So be careful of doing things on an impulse when it comes to going out on dates and stuff. But just to have fun, this weekend can be fun with the Gemini moon paired with, the Venus and Mars in Aries. So we've got the moon is still in Gemini on Sunday. It's going to be making a little bit of harsh aspects though. It's going to be squaring the sun in Pisces. It's going to be opposing heavy, serious Saturn, and it's going to be squaring Neptune, which is like not serious at all at the same time, and squaring Mercury, which is our thinking. So conversations could be a little weird on Sunday, to be quite honest, with that Gemini moon. It can go, because Gemini is very changeable anyway. So the conversations can go between, depending upon like what aspects it's making at that time. It can go from like confusing and weird to like serious and agitated to like just woo fun and like all over the place and not serious at all on Sunday. So just keep that in mind. If you're going out Saturday, you bring home a date, you wake up the next morning and try to converse with them, and then you start looking at them like, who are you? Like who did I bring home to have coffee with me on Sunday morning? This conversation is not going that well. You know what I mean? Let me read some comments real quick. The Libra forecast, Virgo one did. Yeah, you have to look at your sun, moon, and rising, Violetta, for the monthly horoscopes. Some months your sun sign will tell you a little bit more than the moon. The rising sign for horoscope for you will tell you a lot more than the sun sometimes. What about if you're a very Venus-ruled person with a Venus-ruled person, like being an actor? Should we stop going to castings during Venus retrograde? You know what? I would say, of course, if you have to do some sort of work that's revolving around Venus, it's like Venus-ruled work, okay? Still do your job, but just keep in mind that some changes that happen may not stick. Some new things that are initiated may not stick. It may or may not. Venus retrograde isn't gloom and doom and just like, I mean, we say that it's best, we advise you that it's best to kind of avoid certain, you know, things if you can help it. But if you can't, I mean, by all means, proceed with your job, proceed with whatever you have to do, but just keep an open mind and be ready for change, for possible, like more changes than you anticipated. Just be open to that is all. So yeah, girl, go on with your casting stuff, but just keep an open mind and maybe an open schedule too, ready for changes. Let's see. Can we do this on a regular? You know what? I really hope so. Like I said, I'm not the best like early morning person. I mean, like I said, I'm a Taurus, stellium Taurus. Honestly, we could be lazy. We like to take time. We like to take like 5 hours to get ready in the morning. And then I'm a Pisces moon and we love our sleep and we don't pay attention to time. But you know what? For this to be like fun and if people enjoy this, you know what? I'll do this. I'll do this every Friday. We can chat. We can talk. We can get into, you know, what's going on astrologically, and also some celebs. Like I don't know. Like I didn't have my chat up earlier, but I asked if any of you guys ever watched like Joan Rivers back in the day or Wendy Williams now. And although I'm not one that like I said, I don't chase after gossip. Like, oh my God, what's the latest gossip scoop today? But headlines, of course, I can't avoid them if I'm on social media. And hey, I'm a Leo. My midheaven is Leo, so I do love the celebrity world, you know. So I will catch the headlines, check out their transits. Ooh, what's going on with them? For study purposes. I swear it's for study purposes of astrology. So you know what? I'm going to get into the celeb stuff, the astrology celeb stuff. Talk about some headlines that happened this past week and explain to you guys how astrology plays into what's going on in these people's lives. I really love giving celebrity examples because, I mean, come on, their lives are on display. And what better way to study astrology by like, you know, seeing what's going on and then looking at their astrology and then comparing the two and being like, oh, this matches up. So that's what happens when this transit happens for someone. That's what happens during an eclipse. You know what I mean? So I have some notes here. I really dug in. You know, I'm a Scorpio rising. I will dig deep into these charts of some celebrities. So first of all, let's start out with Bruno Mars. He came out with a new video for his song That's What I Like, off of his new album. I'm personally obsessed with Bruno Mars. I love him. I've been obsessed with him since he wasn't really that famous. And I know I sound so hipster when I say that, But no, seriously, I used to follow him on MySpace and watch his old videos of him drumming and playing guitar and playing the keyboard and just being a goofball. And I love his personality. So Bruno Mars, he's a Pisces rising. His rising sign is Pisces and his sun sign is Libra. And he's a Leo moon. So that's how he has that, you know, that hair going on. And he's got that little flair and pizzazz and pizzazz. Excuse my language. I meant to say pizzazz. He's got a lot of pizzazz. So he performed at the Grammys. I don't think it was this past week. It was the week before. He performed at the Grammys as Prince. And oh my God, did you guys see it? Did anybody see it? Oh my gosh. See, this is the thing. Bruno Mars is a Pisces rising. So that means he's very Neptune ruled, and he has like a positive aspect from Neptune to his ascendant too, for my super astrology nerds. And he's got Neptune. Neptune is in Pisces right now. So he's like wearing Neptune all over him with everything that he does. And Neptune and Pisces energy, it can pretty much morph into anyone or anything it wants to. It like channels the energy of other people and it becomes those people. So that's why he's so good at impersonating other celebrities, especially ones that are Neptune ruled too. Like he used to be a Michael Jackson impersonator before he became famous. I don't know if you guys knew that. But also an Elvis impersonator. So fun facts, Elvis is a Pisces moon, okay? Michael Jackson is a Pisces moon and a Pisces rising. So with Bruno being a Pisces rising, oh, and Prince, he just did Prince. Prince has Neptune in Scorpio and an ascendant in Scorpio. So Prince permanently wore Neptune on him, and Prince is a Pisces moon. So there's all that Pisces energy. So Bruno's really easily able to tap into them so easily and just like channel their energy and just play that guitar and just like sing like Shimon and he's able to do that so easily. I swear I was watching Prince, and I've been a lifelong Prince fan. So it really touched my heart. I really wanted to shed a tear, but at the same time I was like, ooh, Bruno, go Bruno. So yeah, he just put out a new video the other night, and for That's What I Like. And if you guys watch it, go check it out on YouTube. You can see his dance moves. Like, I knew this guy could dance. Come on, if he was a Michael Jackson impersonator, he's got all that Neptune energy and Libra, which is ruled by Venus. Venus and Neptune are the rulers of dance in my studies. So he's got both, you know what I mean? And I knew this guy could dance. I knew it. And I'm like, why doesn't he ever show his real like talent? He finally showed him off in that video the other night, and I was like, ooh, and that's because it's Pisces season. So like the sun in Pisces and any of the other planets that were in Pisces like a couple months ago or last month or whatever, it's like he was really like on point with his like, you know, Pisces energy of exuding it with performing and everything. So love Bruno Mars. Oh, and he's having a really big year this year because Jupiter is in Libra, and Jupiter, when it goes into your sign, guys, whether it's your sun sign, your moon, or your rising, mainly the sun or rising, because the sun is career and then the rising is your life path. So when Jupiter transits there, like if any of you guys are Libra, you may be having a really good year. Hopefully you're having a good year this year. If not yet, well, you know, Jupiter is still going to be in Libra until September, October this year, till this fall of 2017. So yeah, he's blowing up this year, and I'm really, really happy for him, really proud of him. Moving along. So who else is in the headlines? I saw a headline yesterday that the singer The Weeknd, he was dating model Bella Hadid, right? They broke up last year. They ended up crossing paths at a performance they did at an H&M fashion show. Blah, blah, blah. H&M fashion show. Maybe I need more coffee. Just hang with me here, guys. So they crossed paths, you know, at that fashion show. And I think the same night, like, they just barely missed each other at a restaurant. So this is why I was saying Venus retrograde. I think that the effects start taking place of retrogrades. I think it starts like building up to that, you know. Well, it was in the shadow period. During the shadow period, you can still have stuff happen, like you run into exes, people call you, people pop up in dreams and stuff like that. So I think Venus retrograde is responsible for them crossing paths with one another, just missing one another, because the weekend is an Aquarius. We don't know his rising sun. He's a Scorpio moon. He's super like mysterious. I'll rectify his chart one day for you guys, and I will find out that rising sign. Trust me. I'll use my Scorpion skills to find out. But he's an Aquarius sun, and if I look at like, you know, where Aries is from his sun, it's third. Aries is the third house from his sun. And Venus going retrograde in your third house for Aquarius right now. Remember, I said in my, go watch your Aquarius monthly March horoscope video, and I will tell you there that you may be likely to run into exes while out and about running errands and just going around, you know, your town, your vicinity or whatever. Just being out and about, you may be likely to actually run into them in person or just barely cross paths with them. That's what happened with The Weeknd and Bella Hadid. And then this, Bella's a Libra, and so all of this Aries stuff is happening opposite her Libra sun. This is her opposite sign. So Venus retrograde in her 7th house, that's running into exes for sure right there, guys. So I found that very interesting. Also in the headlines, we have, Floyd Mayweather, the boxer Floyd Mayweather. Check this out, guys. This is the eclipse in Pisces going to work, not in the best way. But you know what? When things happen to you during eclipses that are not very nice, let's just say, it's just best to take it as a lesson learned. And I really hope he learns this lesson here. So Floyd Mayweather, the boxer, I don't know if you guys heard, but he was robbed. His house was robbed. He was gone for a weekend away from his house, partying up for his birthday. He's a Pisces sun. He was partying with fellow Pisces, Justin Bieber. They're like best buds for some reason. And Floyd is 40 years old. Justin is what, 20 something? But they're both Pisces. So maybe that's why they bond. You know, they understand one another. But anyway, Ash, The Weeknd is from your neighborhood. Ooh, lucky you. I love The Weeknd. I love his music. Anyway, back to Floyd. So Floyd's house was robbed. They said it was somewhere over the weekend, and that's when the eclipse in Pisces happened, guys. And if Floyd's birthday is right next to the date of the eclipse, well, that means that's a major life event for him. So this is the second time his house has been robbed in the last few years, right? Floyd Mayweather, his moon sign is Taurus. He has a Taurus moon conjunct Jupiter. Jupiter expands whatever it touches, right? He calls himself, what does he call himself? Money Mayweather. Okay, he calls himself Money Mayweather. There's a picture of him on the internet, on Instagram, dressed up in a costume for Halloween. All this money all over him. So he is just known for being like all about money, right? Taurus is one of the energies, one of the signs that rules money. And if his moon sign is Taurus, he's always got his mind on his money on his mind. That's why he's all about money. I think he should stop tapping into that Taurus moon conjunct Jupiter and being in excess with the money thing and showing off his earnings and what he has and bragging about it. There's pictures of him all over the internet with his jets and his cars and like, who wants to come play with me with all of my toys? Like, he shows off all of his riches, I think, a little too much. And this is the second time he's been robbed, you know. And then all of this Pisces stuff was conjunct Neptune, and Neptune rules losses, dissolving away whatever it touches. So I don't know Floyd's rising sign, but I do know he's a Pisces, right? So this is why he suffered a loss. I don't think it was a huge loss, but I really hope this is a lesson learned for him with this eclipse, to stop flashing so much. You know what I mean? Stop bragging so much, because you're not invincible. Your money, like, if you're so about your money, like, be a real Taurus and be stingy, Floyd. Start protecting your assets. Tap into the opposite of your moon, which is Scorpio. Protect that stuff. Get some, I don't know, you need to up your security, Floyd. That's all I got to say. So that's how that plays out, guys. Hopefully it's a lesson learned from the eclipse in Pisces for him. Next, I'm going to talk about Katy Perry. So Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom, they've been in like this relationship-ish type of thing for a while. I looked at both of their charts, and if Astro Theme, so if you guys are into celebrities and reading celebrities' charts, okay, go on to astrotheme.com and you can find almost anybody. But I will tell you one thing, they're not always that accurate. They're not always that accurate, and it's kind of hit or miss unless it says like the source that they got it from, like that person's Twitter, that person's mother, that person's book they wrote about themselves or something. It's not always 100%. But I did look at, Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom's charts. They recently announced that they split this past week. And it's so funny. I think they announced it like on Monday, and the eclipse was on Sunday. So Orlando Bloom's Venus is at, hold on, I have his chart up right here, guys. 9 degrees of Pisces. Guess where the eclipse was at? 8 degrees of Pisces. So an eclipse on his Venus, that means letting go of a relationship or a significant relationship change. But when I look at their two charts, if everything is correct on Astro Theme with their birth times and everything, all of Katy is like uber Scorpio, guys. Katy Perry, if her birth time is correct, she is a sun, moon, and rising in Scorpio, triple Scorpio. That's why she has like those eyes, those penetrating Scorpio eyes. And all of her Scorpio stuff falls into his 8th house. The 8th house is very intimate, and being like very magnetically attracted to somebody. And all of Orlando's, like a lot of his Capricorn, he has a stellium in Capricorn. That falls into Katy's 3rd house. 3rd house is more like, yeah, we can chat up, we could be friends, and it's kind of like flighty and wishy-washy type of relationship energy. It's not something that sticks. So I think it was like maybe on his part, he may have been more like magnetically attracted to her than she was to him. Although he does have a Scorpio moon. So, 2 Scorpio moons can really magnetically bond like this. But I think the relationship, it didn't really have too much staying power from the get-go because of their energy, how their energy works together. So yeah, an eclipse on his Venus, that happened in her 5th house of casual romantic relationships. So you know what? It was, I guess, time for them to let go at the time of the eclipse. So that's how that has played out in real life. Let's see. Lastly, I'm going to talk about Chris Brown. Chris Brown is in the news again. He's a singer, if you're not familiar with him. I'm sure a lot of people are because he's dated Rihanna, and she's like a huge superstar. So Chris Brown, he has this other girlfriend that he's dated off and on besides Rihanna. And Chris Brown is a Taurus. He's got a stellium of planets in Taurus. Taurus people are known for going back to exes a lot because they like to go back to what's familiar with them. Say, for example, a Taurus breaks up with somebody after a long-term relationship that's been turbulent, and they're feeling like alone and they want company. They're going to go back to somebody they're familiar with. The tried and true. So they'll go back to an ex. So that's why he's been back and forth between Karrueche Tran and Rihanna. They've been in the news with him over the years, back and forth. So I guess apparently Karrueche Tran has filed a restraining order against Chris Brown. Chris Brown is rumored to be a Leo rising. I don't know if I really trust that, but he is very arrogant. I'm a little concerned about Chris for this reason. When you watch the transits of Mars, where Mars is traveling, and if there's celebrities in the news and they are, they're acting out in ways where they're lashing out at people or clapping back at people is like the new school term. When normally they're pretty mild-mannered or something, which he's not really mild-mannered, then usually you want to look for Mars. Where's Mars transiting for this person? Maybe that's why they're actually like, going back at fans, whether in person or social media. So Mars is going to move into Taurus in a couple days, okay, on the 9th of March. And when this happens, see, Chris, he has three planets. I have his chart. There we go. I'm prepared, all right? He has, yes, 3 planets in Taurus, and he has 2 planets in Gemini, and his Mars is in Cancer. That means sometime this year, Mars is going to travel over all of his personal planets, guys. That means he's going to be even more like an angry person, easy to lash out. So I'm a little scared for him. Not only that, but he's going through his Saturn return right now. He's about to turn 28 years old. And if you're familiar with the age of 28 and the Saturn return, it can be a tough time in people's lives of learning tough lessons, especially if they've been through a lot of trouble consistently. Saturn return. Imagine Saturn is like, he's like a strict grandpa or he's like one of those strict, like old school teachers with like a ruler and they hit you on the hand, or like a paddle and they can spank you or whatever back in the day. Or they just really come down heavy on you and put you on punishment. Is that the term? That's what my dad used to say. You're on punishment. So it's like a strict dad putting you on punishment or grounding you. So he's going to be going through some things that are going to ground him. So I'm just a little scared for Chris that he might be like, he might start lashing out in the next couple months in a way that's going to put him back in jail, or he's going to have to learn a harsh lesson. But maybe the harsh lesson might be good for him. You know what I mean? Maybe he just needs to learn to calm down. Something very interesting I learned about Chris, if he is indeed a Leo rising, I read that, in 2014, I think he went to jail at that time, and he came out, and I mean, everybody changes when they're in jail, right? A lot of people, they start getting all religious and meditating, and they start doing martial arts, and they're like, I am so zen, right? And then when they come back out, get a taste of the real world again, woo, they start going a little wild, go back to their old selves. But I read that Chris, he got out of jail like in 2014, and people said that he had tapped into meditation and that he was much more calm, much better at handling his anger at that time because he was meditating. But he got out of the habit. At that time, if he is a Leo rising, Jupiter was in his 12th house. When Jupiter is in your 12th house, guys, or if you're not a super astro geek and you don't understand the houses, if Jupiter is in the sign before your sign, like if you are a Leo and Jupiter is in Cancer, that means Jupiter is in your 12th house. It's bringing out more abilities for you to tap into meditation, spirituality, your dreams giving you messages and you actually absorbing the messages, and maybe even tapping into some astrology or, crystals and healing, like some really like metaphysical healing you could tap into when Jupiter's in your 12th house. So Chris, he was doing that while Jupiter was in his 12th. Then when Jupiter went into Leo, party time again, party time, woo, time to wild out again and everything. So Chris needs to tap back into that meditation if he's done that before. He's really going to need to woo-saw when he has Mars going over all of his personal planets this year. So, woo! I'll be crossing my fingers for Chris Brown. Hopefully this restraining order that's gone public will teach him a lesson. This is probably a lesson from Saturn to him. So good luck, Chris. Oh, somebody said he's going to be on tour burning off that energy. You know what? That'll be good for him. For him to be, because he's a really like phenomenal dancer from what I've seen. So for him to burn off that energy by working hard, by dancing and everything, then that'll be, that's what you should do when Mars is in your sign or you have a Mars return, is do physically active stuff. That way it can help you to get that, not always anger, but all that extra energy that you have that can be kind of aggressive, get that out of there. You know what I mean? So yeah, good luck, Chris. Use your Mars energy wisely. Let me take a look at the chat really quick. Okay. What about Remy Ma and Nicki Minaj? So I didn't really look into their charts, guys. But the only thing I know about them offhand is their sun signs. And Remy Ma is a Gemini and Nicki Minaj is a Sagittarius. So there's that opposition there. Sag and Gemini are opposite signs. So there's a really like hard opposition there with their sun signs at least. And then Venus is in Aries right now. Venus rules the feminine. And if you look at the sky at night right now, maybe depending upon what part of the world you live in, but Venus is super bright in the sky. And if it's in Aries, Aries is like warrior woman energy, okay? And, Venus is feminine paired with Aries, the warrior. I mean, this is why there's like this, really, really like hard warrior goddess energy with females right now. So yeah, and also, just a couple celebrity birthdays this weekend. It was really hard to find a really good website to find a lot of good celebrity birthday stuff. Let's see. I have Jessica Biel. Not like really too huge of celebrities birthdays I could find, but yeah, Jessica Biel, she's Justin Timberlake's wife. She's really gorgeous. Happy birthday to her. This past week, Justin Bieber's birthday, if you guys are believers, his birthday was on March 1st, I believe. So happy birthday to Justin. The eclipse was really close to his. sun sign, so hopefully it did him well. Let me see. Let me look in the chat and see if there's any, like, you guys have any questions or anything, any like celeb stuff you like, celebrity chart you want me to look at real quick and see, like, if they're, you know, if they're in the news and the headlines, like what's going on with them or anything. Hold on. Let me look at the chat. Okay, when you say look for a planet and sign and house on the chart, oh, I'm looking, oh, okay, you're looking at like what's going on presently in the sky in astrology compared to what's in your natal chart. That's how you're looking at the transits. That's kind of like the astrological weather is like the transits. So it's like a weather forecast, and how's it going to affect you? You know what I mean? How's it going to affect your area? Like if you live in, say, like Washington, D.C., right? So Washington, D.C. would be like your birth chart. And then the weather forecast would be like the astrology transits that are going on. So that's that. What sign do we listen to? Moon, sun, or ascendant? Elizabeth, listen to all three of them. Listen to all three, okay? Because they will all have some sort of significance. And then some months, you may have like more of a resonance with one over the other as far as what's happening for you right now. And the moon sign is kind of like, looking at that is like emotionally, how are you going to be like feeling and think and seeing things and perceiving things and reacting to things. Let's see. Okay. How do we know what house Venus is passing through? Yeah, you can look at transits, and actually, I think astrologer.com does offer like transit reports like that you can purchase. Like you can purchase them, and also I personally do transit reports too. If you wanted to speak with me and I can give you a transit report, go to my readers page. Let's see. What will happen in the solar eclipse in Leo rising on August 21st? Oh, yeah, there's another eclipse in Leo. I really look ahead a lot, and a lot of people are just kind of in the now. So I don't usually talk about things that are like that far ahead. But yeah, that there's another eclipse in Leo. So it's kind of going to be wrapping up things that happen during the lunar eclipse in Leo in February, guys. And yeah, this is very therapeutic. Thank you, Cheesehead. I really like your name. Okay, what else? Okay, any other stuff you guys want me to look at or you want to talk or chat about? Let me take a drink of coffee while I take a look at the chat. Oh, do I have fun or interesting Venus retrograde experience from the past that I would like to share? Well, you know what? I haven't even personally looked back to see a Venus retrograde. Maybe I should. Maybe I should for the next episode here. See, I had an interesting dating life when I was single a long time ago. I attracted a lot of weird, I have a lot of weird dating stories because I'm a Scorpio rising and I have Uranus in my first house, and Uranus is the planet of weird. So I am pretty weird, but so I attract weird to me a lot. Okay. And I have so many weird experiences. I'm pretty sure some happened during Venus retrograde. So I'll take a look for you and tell you maybe on the next video. Let's see. J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. You know what? I don't, of course I know who they are, but I don't know if there's anything really going on with them that I've seen in any headlines or anything. All I know is their sun signs and moon signs. Like I think Kendrick he's a Gemini with a Pisces moon, and he's got like planets in Cancer, so he's very sensitive underneath the surface. And he's able to talk about humanitarian stuff. And then J. Cole talks about humanitarian stuff because he's an Aquarius, but he's got a loud Aries moon. I think he's an Aries moon. I'll have to look. Let's see. Breakups on the solar eclipse, will they stick during Venus retrograde? I wouldn't count on it 100%. retrogrades can spin your world backwards because that's exactly what it is, spinning backwards. So it can bring that ex back. They can have a craving for you again. I've actually been getting a lot of messages from just chatting with people on social media about my ex wants to get back with me. What should I do? Like Libras, you guys, ooh, I had a Libra rising contact me yesterday on Instagram and tell me that, okay. Anyway, tell me that his ex-wife is now wanting to work things out and if he should. And I'm like, that's really up to you, buddy. And he's a Libra rising. So this is happening in his relationship house. But his wife is a Gemini and she keeps going back and forth playing these games. And I'm like, that's kind of a Gemini thing, is switching around a lot, going back and forth a lot. They're kind of notorious for that, unless they have a lot of grounding energy in their chart from like Taurus or Cancer or something like that. Gemini alone is very famous and notorious for just going, you know, switching around, changing their mind every 5 seconds. So I told my Libra rising friend, hey, you know, you can try it out, but I wouldn't recommend it. And when Venus goes forward again, somebody may change their mind. So it's really up to you what you do. What if nothing happens to you during Venus retrograde? Hey, Eddie, then good for you. You know, good for you if nothing happens. Venus retrograde is not just always about like exes and stuff. I think I already talked about this in my other video, but since we're live, I'll just talk because we got a couple more minutes. Venus retrograde, if you're, it can be like bringing someone back, and it can be a positive thing actually. But I would just say, you know, be, of course, open-minded, because it won't necessarily stick 100% of the time. But it can be like rekindling something if you're in an existing relationship. Like going back over the memories, like, you know, remember the time, remember when we used to do this, we used to do that. We don't do that anymore. Like, can we start doing that again, you know? Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Didn't they like finalize their divorce or something? I know that they were like recently, and that there was something recent that went on with them, right? With Angelina and Brad. You know what? Lotta has really good videos on Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt and their relationship. So you guys should definitely check those out if you haven't. I think they're from a little while back. But I think she went over like recently, like their divorce and stuff. And Angelina Jolie she's a Cancer rising, right? And Pluto is in Capricorn. That's opposite of Cancer. So Pluto is moving through her 7th house of relationships, and Pluto like transforms. You know, it can like purge things out. You know what I mean? If they're no longer beneficial to you or whatever, and people can feel like Pluto can be like a mean bully, like snatching things away and stuff from people, but a lot of times it's for your own good. It's just Pluto can make things kind of painful, to be honest, but then once you get over that pain, you can look back and say, I am so much stronger from this, you know? So that's kind of what Angelina Jolie is going through right now with this Pluto in her 7th house of relationships. And you know, it really sucks because her and Brad have a lot of kids together, whether they are biological or adopted. I really feel bad for the kids, you know what I mean? Especially ones that were adopted, and it's like, we're adopted to have a better life, but now our parents are divorced. Like, you know, I hope those kids are okay. That's all I gotta say. So yeah, pretty interesting. And then Brad, I believe, has planets in Capricorn. So Pluto is going over his Capricorn planets and really transforming him too. But yeah, Lotta has such a really good video on this. So you guys should go back and check it out. Will Mark Anthony and J-Lo get back together? You know, let me look at J-Lo. Excuse me. It's debatable of what her rising sign is, guys. I've researched her heavily before, and she is debated of excuse me, whether to have either a Libra rising or a Leo rising. I think Astro Theme, they have her as, what do they have her as? Let me see. Oh, it says unknown. I think they corrected it. I think they had a birth time before and then they like got rid of it. But I miss Paul Walker. Sally, me too. I love Paul. He was gorgeous, gorgeous Pisces moon man. His eyes were just, had Pisces all in them, right? So beautiful. And he was such a humanitarian. And he really loved water and loved the ocean. She seems like a Leo rising. Thank you, Nicole. You know what? one of my astro friends would always debate me on this. Friendly debate, that is, you know. Excuse me. Friendly debate. But he was like, she's a Leo rising. I'm like, no, she's Libra. Because check it out, like Libra tends to have that, and I always name this for my Libra people. I always name this the J-Lo syndrome. And so I'm like, where is her Libra? When I look at her chart, I'm like, she's got Libra somewhere. Because Libra tends to always have to have somebody around because they're the sign of partnership. They don't like to be alone, you know? So I get you, Catherine, on that. Astrology explaining who they really are. Oh, yes, it sure does. Yeah, she craves partnership. That's why she's in and out of relationships. You're so right on that, Nicole. Like, even before I really dived this deep into astrology back in the day, I would always say, like, I would always call my Libra friends that always had to have somebody. I'd be like, you guys have that J-Lo syndrome. You have somebody lined up before you even move on to the next relationship. Like, what's that about? Like, how is it that you have somebody already, like, so quickly? You know what I mean? And then J-Lo did the same exact thing all the time. How is it that she already has a new man? And it's just like, oh, I'm crying because I got divorced. A week later, new man. How did this happen? She already has, because Libra energy, it loves to be well liked, okay? And it can be like very just kind of like detached with talking to other people, being friendly with people. And so Libra energy can tend to lean towards like always having admirers on the side, even if they're in a relationship. And before anybody jumps on my case, I'm not saying 100% of Libras are like this, okay? It's like Libras, the energy of Libra alone, isolated, is known for this. You may have other energies in your chart that counteract this if you're not like that. But anyway, like Libra craves partnership and likes to be well liked. So a Libra may have like other people on the side that they're just friends with, but they're admirers. It's like, oh, somebody that thinks I'm beautiful, and they know that if I wasn't, you know, in a relationship, they would date me. And so that's why a Libra, you know, like that's why I think J-Lo's a Libra rising, because she has guys like that around that admire her, and she actually chats with them. And then when she's out of a relationship, bam, she's got her pick right there. She doesn't have to wait very long and go out to the dating scene and go fishing in the dating pool. No, because she's already got the fish around her. Even when she's married or in a relationship, I can guarantee you that. So that's why I'm like, J-Lo is a Libra rising, definitely. As far as where Venus retro is, if she's a Libra rising, like I suspect she is, then Venus retrograde in Aries is going to be in her 7th house of relationship. So I don't know. I don't even know what's going on with her right now. Is she dating somebody? I haven't really been able to. I can never keep up with this woman and who she's dating. Rocktober born, all I'm going to say is yes. Yes. Anyway, so yeah, who knows if she'll go back to Mark Anthony? I don't know. You never know. And she's got Venus and Gemini. They could be back and forth. You know, Venus and Gemini can be too. Okay, well, you know what? I think that's it. Unless anybody has any more questions or anything, I'm gonna sign off of Coffee Talk here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, so I did go over the astrology of the weekend, of this weekend. Not just the Singer of the weekend, but the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday astrology, March 3rd, 4th, and 5th at the beginning, if you missed it. So yeah, I guess maybe I'll chat with you guys next week if this is if people like this. Yeah, if you guys like it, then maybe I'll come back next Friday and I'll be a little bit more awake and not need as much of a big cup of coffee. All right, so I hope you guys enjoy your day, your morning, your weekend. And yeah, I also have horoscopes that just went up for your March horoscopes. They just went up yesterday, so go check those out. And also, if you want like a personal look, me to personally look at your chart, see what's going on with you right now, see what's going on in relationships or career, then go ahead and hit me up, go on my readers page, and we can get something scheduled. And I also have, I have specials going on right now. So go to my readers page and the specials are there. You have an opportunity to talk with me a little longer if you order like a 20-minute reading. you can actually get 10 minutes for free. So, you know, we can chat a little bit longer. Or you can get a free follow-up question to your 30-minute reading if you order a 30-minute reading. So pretty awesome. All right, guys. So I will see you guys in my next video, maybe next Friday. We will see for another coffee talk. All right. Hopefully I signed out of this thing correctly last time because I did not. I mean, this time because I didn't last time. But I'm learning here, guys. Maybe I'll do live shows a little more often so I can be a little better at this. All right. Peace. Have a great weekend. See you guys.